皆さんおはようございます。Thank you for joining me. This is the Japanese Easy News article of the day for December 17th, 2025. 2025年12月17日の今日の記事でございます。So for our title today, we have... Okay, one second. Okay, so we have 北海道北斗市の温泉。ゆず湯が始まる。So, 北海道 is 北海道. And then we have 北斗市. So, 北斗 is the name of a 市, which is a city. So, 北斗 city in 北海道の温泉. So, 温泉 is a hot springs. So, a hot springs in 北斗 city in 北海道. ゆず湯. So, yuzu is the yuzu fruit. Right here. We also have it in our thumbnail. It's a citrus fruit. Very delicious if you haven't tried it. It's one of my favorite fruits of all time. I actually have a yuzu tree growing in my backyard, but I absolutely love yuzu. Very nice juice. But yuzu yu, so yuzu is that fruit, yuzu, and then yu is hot water, or it's often used for like types of baths that you can take. So here yuzu yu would be like the water of the yuzu, but yu is particularly talking about hot water, whereas mizu would be cold water. And then we have ga hajimaru. So this ga tells us it's doing something, and it is hajimaru, to start. So at a hot springs in Hokuto City in Hokkaido, the yuzu bath water is starting. So they've started putting yuzu into their bath water, or the hot springs water. Okay, so this is our vocabulary list from the article. We have onsen, which is hot springs. Yuzu is the yuzu fruit, it's a citrus fruit. Yu, so yu is how you say hot water in Japanese. So in Japanese, they distinguish hot water versus cold water. So cold water, they'll just say mizu, or normal temperature water. Will also be mizu, but yu, or sometimes they'll add oyu, is hot water. So this can be hot water in a bath, hot water that you drink, hot water that you use for recipes. They'll use oyu. Okay, then we have hiru. So hiru is daytime. It also means noon, but it can be used to mean like day compared to night. So hiru and yoru would be like day versus night, when it's bright outside, when it's dark outside. So here, hiru is daytime. And then mijikai is short. It's an e adjective. And then toji is the winter solstice. And furo is a bath. This one also has an o commonly attached to it. So ofuro is the bath. And we have kudamono is another word for fruit. You can also say furutsu. We have 習慣 is a custom, habit, or tradition. Ko is a counter for small objects. So here I think we're talking about fruit in the article. So we would count them with ko. 1個、2個、3個. Then we have 手に取る. So 手 is your hand and toru is to take. So this is to take something in your hand, or to hold, or to grab something. 手に取ります, or 手に取る. We have 男性 is a man or a male, in contrast to 女性. And we have 匂い, which is a smell.
今月22日は1年で昼が一番短い日です。冬至と言います。日本では冬至に風呂の湯に果物の柚子を入れた柚子湯に入る習慣があります。北海道北斗市の温泉で昨日から柚子湯が始まりました。高知県で採れた柚子50個ぐらいを湯に入れました。柚子湯に入ると冬の間風邪をひかないと昔から言われています。温泉に来た人たちは柚子を手に取って楽しんでいました。風呂に入った男性は、柚子のいい匂いがして気持ちいいですと話していました。
Okay, let's get right into our article here.
今月22日は1年で昼が一番短い日です。
Okay, so 今月 is this month. 今月22日は So 22日 is the 22nd day. So the 22nd of this month wa is our main topic. 1年で So 1年 is 1 year. And then this day is telling us in a year. So 1年で昼が一番短い日. So 昼 is daytime, the time when there is light. So 昼が一番 Ichiban is number one, but if we throw it in front of an adjective like mijikai, can kind of mean like most. So here we have mijikai, which is short. When we throw ichiban in front of it, that's like the shortest or the most short. So hiru ga ichiban mijikai hi desu. So hi is day. So we have our main topic with wa here, and then that connects to day, and all of this is describing the day. So 今月22日は the 22nd of this month is the day that is the shortest or has the shortest daytime length, right? 昼が一番短い日です。
冬至と言います。
冬至と言います。So 冬至 is winter solstice, and then と is when we're quoting something, so it will often come in front of words like 言います to say something. So it comes from the verb 言う. So 冬至と言います. This is called the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year.
日本では冬至に風呂の湯に果物の柚子を入れた柚子湯に入る習慣があります。
Okay, so 日本では So 日本 and then this では is in Japan, and that's one of our main topics here. So in Japan, 冬至に So on the winter solstice, this ni is telling us our time that we're doing this. So on the winter solstice, 風呂の湯に So 風呂 is the bath, and then 湯 is the hot water, so the hot water in a bath. Ni, and then something is going towards it or in it. 果物の柚子を入れた. So 果物 is fruit, and yuzu, so it's describing yuzu, which is a fruit. 果物の柚子を入れた. So 入れた is from 入れる to put something in the past tense. And then we have yuzuyu. So yuzuyu is that yuzu water or yuzu bath water. And then all of this is describing the yuzuyu. So the yuzu bath water in which the fruit yuzu is inserted or put into the hot water of the bath. And then ni hairu. So hairu is to enter. This is used to get into a bath as well. So if you say like, I'm going to take a bath, you'll say お風呂に入る. So to get in the bath. And then 習慣があります. So 習慣 is habit, custom, tradition. And then があります. It exists. So in Japan, there is a custom or a habit or a tradition, probably like a tradition, wherein on the summer solstice, you get in the yuzu bathwater, yuzuyu, in which yuzu fruit is put into the hot water of the bath.
北海道北斗市の温泉で昨日から柚子湯が始まりました。
Okay, so 北海道北斗市の温泉で So 北海道, once again, 北斗市, the Hokuto city in Hokkaido, and then it also owns this. So the onsen, the hot springs in Hokuto city in Hokkaido. De, so at that hot springs. 今日から or 16日から or did they say 昨日から I'm trying to remember. I think it's 昨日. Yep, so yesterday. The 16th, 昨日からゆず湯が始まりました. So ゆず湯が始まる. So, 始まる to start. And then that's in the past tense. So the yuzu hot water started on the 16th or yesterday. So, から, that tells us a starting point where something starts from, right? So, 16日からゆず湯が始まりました。
高知県で採れた柚子50個ぐらいを湯に入れました。
Okay, so 高知県で、高知県 is 高知 prefecture. で、in 高知 prefecture. 採れた. So 採れる or 取る is to harvest something or to take something like produce. And then this is going to modify something else. And then we have yuzu 50個ぐらい. So yuzu, the yuzu fruit. So, and this yuzu fruit was harvested or taken from Kochi Prefecture. And then there are around 50 of them that are being used here. So, yuzu 50個. So, this ko is a counter for small objects like fruit. Yuzu 50個ぐらいを湯に入れました. So, yu, once again, the hot water, and then に入れる, to put in the hot water. So, around 50 yuzu fruit were put into the hot water, and these yuzu fruit were harvested in Kochi Prefecture.
柚子湯に入ると冬の間風邪をひかないと昔から言われています。
Okay, 柚子湯に入ると so 柚子湯 the yuzu water に入る get into or enter the yuzu water. And then this to is if you do this or upon doing this. So if you get into the water, 冬の間. So 冬 is the winter, and then 間 is during. So during the winter, 冬の間. 風邪をひかない. So 風邪 is a cold, and ひく is to catch a cold. And this is in the negative, so you will not catch a cold. 風邪をひかない. So this to is kind of like a quotation. So what are we talking about here? This right here. So ゆず湯に入ると, if you get in yuzu water, 冬の間, during winter, 風邪をひかない. You won't catch a cold. と、昔から. So 昔から is from a long time, or from a long time ago. And then 言われています. So this is you to say in the passive, 言われる. So it is said. And then it's in the teiru form because it's currently being said. So from a long time ago, it is said in Japan that if you get into the yuzu bath, you will not catch a cold during winter. So it's kind of like an old, what do you call that? A wives' tale, right? Or that traditional medicine kind of idea, right?
温泉に来た人たちは柚子を手に取って楽しんでいました。
Okay, so 温泉に来た人たち. So 温泉, the hot springs, に来た, come to, 来る in the past tense. And then 人たち. So 人 is person, and then if we want to specify, we're talking about multiple people, 人たち. So 温泉に来た人たちは the people who came to the hot springs, は our main topic, 柚子を so the yuzu fruit, 手に取って so 手 is our hand, 取る to take, so to take them in our hands. And we are taking the yuzu fruit in our hand. That particle o tells us that. 柚子を手に取って楽しんでいました。So, 楽しむ is a verb to enjoy yourself, to have fun. And then this is in the teiru form here. So currently having fun, but then that's also in the past tense. So they were having fun. So the people who came to the hot springs were taking yuzu into their hand and were enjoying themselves, having a good time.
風呂に入った男性は柚子のいい匂いがして気持ちいいですと話していました。
Same thing we have here. 風呂に入った男性は So we have 男性, which is man, and then 風呂に入った a man who entered the bath. は is our main topic here. Then we have a quote. So ゆずのいい匂い. So ゆずの something about the yuzu or owned by the yuzu. Yuzu no ii nioi. So nioi is a smell or a fragrance. And then ii nioi is the good smell. So the good smell of the yuzu ga shite. So in Japanese, we use the word or the verb suru for something that gives off something. So like nioi ga suru, it gives off a smell. Or oto ga suru, gives off a sound. There's this sound. So we use the verb suru for that. So ii nioi ga shite. The yuzu gave off a very good fragrance. It smelled very good. And kimochi ii desu. So kimochi is feeling. And then we add i to say it's good. So it was very, you could translate that all sorts of ways. Refreshing, felt good. When you're in the bath and you have that nice yuzu smell, it's very nice, right? 気持ちいいです. And then と話していました. と話す is to speak and was saying this, right? So the man who entered the bath was saying there was the lovely fragrance of the yuzu and it was a very good experience. It felt very nice in the bath. So cool. Yeah. Today we kind of had a more chill news article today. Like I said, I'm trying to get as much or get as wide of topics as I can to kind of, help you out with learning some new vocab as well as some new grammar, some things you might not be running into, rather than talking about bears and earthquakes all the time, even though there's more important news articles. Kind of trying to keep it as interesting as possible and make it as useful for you as a Japanese learner. So yes, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos, and also hit that bell so you're notified every weekday when we upload these videos. And I will plan on seeing you tomorrow. Mata ashita.